Mike Clancy, and I used to be a distance runner. I say used to be because it took me about 10 years, but you know, I reflected on those experiences and I realized, God, this is an absurd sport. What am I doing? And so I stopped. And I'm going to share some of those revelations I had with you today. I come from a long line of runners. The handsome man with that 70s fro. On the left is my father, and then that's me. Right next to him. My running career began in 5th grade to an epic fail. I fell within the first 10 meters and cried and didn't finish. But I should have ended there, but I decided, now let's keep going with this thing. And it turned out I had a bit of a talent for it, and so I ran through college, and you know, it took me all over the United States, and I've run in a lot of cool places in the world. This is the Scottish Highlands. I kind of felt like William Wallace running through there. You know, good thing. But now, don't get me wrong with this presentation. I know there's probably some running buffs out there. I don't want to offend anyone. I really do love the sport. You know, this is more of a joke here, but this quote here is my wife's favorite quote about running. If you ever watched Parks and Rec, I think it sums it up pretty well. But let's begin with some of the quirks. First thing about running that makes it an absurd thing is the running conditions. I went to school in northern Iowa. It's very cold, and this really happens. When you're out on a long, cold run, you get beard sickles. Your spit, your boogers, and your sweat, it just freezes into this mash of stuff, and yeah, and so yeah, this happens all the time as well. People aren't meant to run on the ice, but you know, we go out and train in it anyways, so you fall a lot. You know, we would tell people we're really tough when we run out in the cold, but really, if you actually watch this, it's more of this going on. So yeah, but let's move on here. You know, what's even worse than the cold conditions, though, is the animal attacks that you experience as a runner. I'm from the Midwest. We don't have any bears or tigers, but we have dogs, we have geese. I have been attacked, not attacked, but chased by a bull at one point. But I'll save those stories. The one I want to share with you about is a dog. A Rottweiler, a really obese Rottweiler that lived near our house at the bottom of the hill. I've got a little diagram here. This Rottweiler guarded the greatest route in the world to this beautiful reservoir, and so my brother and I had to get past it. We realized it was a very out-of-shape dog, so we'd sprint, and if you could get halfway up the hill before it caught you, you were free. It was an out and back course, though, so you had to come back that way too. That dog did not compare to these devils, though. I hate these things with all my heart. I've dedicated 2 slides to them. These red-winged blackbirds, they hover above you as you run, and they dive bomb, and they peck at your head when you're not looking. I kid you not, and they line up along those power lines all the way through. And I developed some strategies to ward them off. I tried rocks, I tried you know, yelling at them and ducking. The best thing that works is you take off your shirt and you just wave it around your head like a helicopter, and it disorients them, and they can't hit your head. But they would go on for miles, and so I'm not joking when I say I hate them. I will hit them with my car. I don't care. Anyways, so that's the training. Let's transition to the race. The race is an absurd thing as well, for many reasons. This picture is from a race I was in. I put it here because this shows the front of the race, but really I was like 100 places back, but you know, whatever. First thing, cross country and track is not like a real spectator sport, not very lucrative, so we don't get the best accommodations. This is a real photograph, the No Town Motel. We stayed in the parking lot. That's the parking lot of the hotel we were at. We didn't actually stay there. We were one up at the Oasis Hotel. Very luxurious place. Next up, we've got the race itself. I don't know if you've been to a cross-country race, but you know, you get a bunch of people together, a couple hundred people, strap some steel spikes onto their feet and say, hey, go run through this tiny little chute. Don't fall down, it's going to hurt. So that happens. I've been trampled on and trampled people. You know, it's part of the sport. But there's a whole other thing. In a cross-country race, it's like a long field, and there's some hidden areas where there's really no spectators. And some strategies have developed over the years. This thing here, this little flagpole, looks innocent enough. People don't really realize you know, how terrible this is, but let me show you here. A classic cross-country strategy. This is called the clothesline. Most freshmen learn this either the hard way or they watch somebody else, but these flagpoles are all along it, and as you run by, you gotta grab those things and just whack the person behind you. It happens to you once, to everyone, and then you're the attacker after that. You learn. So, you know, All right, let's get to the steeplechase. All right, this is the most absurd part of running. Thankfully, I never had to do this. Here are some horses elegantly jumping over a steeplechase. You know, I'm sure accidents happen, but some genius had the idea to, you know, let's have people do this as well. And you know, as they're doing it, let's add a water pit. Why not? You know, let's put some water in there. And so, you know, people come to these races, and they watch it for the same reason people watch NASCAR. They are hoping that someone is going to go down. And they do, every time. And you just got to wait. So here's a couple pictures of some epic fails. You know, this is the awkward pause, but wait, we're talking about. Here we go. Yeah, this happens. I never had to run this race, but my roommate did, and the first time he ran it, we were watching it, just crossing our fingers. 2 laps around, sure enough. Cleats stick in the steeple, and down he goes. And these are bolted to the ground too. You know, don't make them like a nice foam thing. Let's bolt them to the ground and really make them something else. Anyways, though, in all honesty, I love the sport. I wouldn't trade the 10 years I had for anything else. I'd never do it again. But we had a blast here. Kind of a competition. You steal hurdles from places you go, and so we came across that one honestly, and you get to travel a lot and. You know, it's a great sport all in all, but it's absurd. Let's be honest. You're running for a long time, and there's a lot of weird things that happen. But thanks for listening. That's my presentation.